They're under starter's orders. They're off.
I got off to a fairly good break. Thornhill a little bit slowly away, and so too was Ruse Leap. But Tough Nut George is one of the early leaders. He comes out of the first fence leading by a couple of lengths. Tough Nut George then from Lanska Missile in second. Close behind these, Ruse Leap has made up quite a lot of ground. And on the outside, Mankind is in the leading group. So they race up now towards the turn out of the back straight. My Young Man, now the one who goes on. Tough Nut George 2 lengths back in second, a further half length back to Mankind third. Lanska Missile 4 on the inside. Twist and Skew and Ruse Leap come next, and in mid-division is Yquem, this one followed by Porky, Familiar Friend, that's the grey horse, as they come up to the next. The one still some way behind the others is Thornhill, who wasn't too quickly away. But My Young Man leads them up towards the fence before the turn into the straight. At 14 fences in all to be taken, and My Young Man setting quite a good strong pace, a couple of lengths in front of Tough Nut George in second. Ruse Leap jumps third, together with Lanska Missile, who's on the inside. Yquem is close behind these, with Soudanor on his inside. Then following this group in seventh place is Mankind, racing with Familiar Friend and then Porky, and they straighten up now for the one fence in the home straight. My Young Man, the leader by a length and a half. From Soudanor, just about jumped in second, but more or less in the air at the same time with him was Tough Nut George. Faller at that fence was Thornhill towards the rear of the field. As they pass the winning post with a complete circuit to go, My Young Man leads by nearly 3 lengths now. Tough Nut George is second, Soudanor a close third with Yquem on his outside. Tracking the leaders on the inside in fifth is Lanska Missile, Familiar Friend the grey, and Mankind on the outside of Familiar Friend. A gap of several lengths to Twist and Skew, Ruse Leap, and Porky, and Porky now struggling to go the pace. So My Young Man with about a 3-length advantage from Tough Nut George and Soudanor and Yquem. They're disputing third, those two. Tough Nut George just about maintaining second. Lanska Missile in 5, but he'd only be about 4 lengths off the pace. And after these comes Mankind and then Familiar Friend. Now the race towards the water. As they go to this, My Young Man from Tough Nut George. Only a length separates these two. Gap of a length to Yquem as they jump that. And now they round the turn into the home straight. So My Young Man leads now by 3 once again. Tough Nut George in second, a gap of almost a length to Yquem, who is third. Lanska Missile a close 4, and right on the heels of these is Familiar Friend. A gap of 4 or 5 then to Mankind, who's in 6th place. He's ahead of Porky. Twist and Skew is going very slowly at the rear of the field as they race along to the middle fence on the far side. And still My Young Man leading by 2 from Yquem, who's now second, about 3 parts of a length in front of Lanska Missile third. The grey Familiar Friend fourth on the outside, and these 4 have opened up quite a gap between them and the remainder of the field as they race now towards the turn out of the back straight. Tough Nut George is the best of the remainder. He's in 5th place, but he's a dozen lengths behind My Young Man, who continues to lead from Yquem. An increasing gap to Lanska Missile in third, about 3 lengths perhaps. Familiar Friend in 4 as they race up now towards the third last friend. My Young Man and Yquem, with Yquem getting ever closer on the outside and going equally well. The pair of them both going quite well and well clear of Lanska Missile, who jumps in third, Familiar Friend in 4. So now they race up towards the second last. And at this stage, Yquem has begun to wear down My Young Man, who responds well to pressure, but Yquem now going the better of the pair as they come down to the second last. Yquem on the outside, My Young Man on the inner. Both of them jump well. They're 10 lengths clear of Lanska Missile and Familiar Friend, and looking back, the only other one in the race looks as if it's Porky, who's pretty well tailed off. So 1 fence to jump. My Young Man, who's made most of the running on the inside, but Yquem is inching ahead, half a length now as they come to the last fence. Yquem with the advantage, My Young Man on the inside. They were in the air together, and My Young Man hit the fence, gave his rider no chance, and this leads Yquem clear with 100 yards to race. Yquem is clear of Familiar Friend. Familiar Friend racing to the line just ahead of Lanska Missile in third.